Tieko, good morning.
Good morning, Brian.
Mbacho bia bako de.
If I do more, be out that in.
Mbacho, ene yose din kumo. Se uno ye in charge of a boxer, na weight akokuye 135. Now 1 week to the time. Ne opponent so to me 135. Na monko 138. Catch weight. You will allow it to happen.
About management.
Yeah, about management.
Yeah.
Okay. Explain.
Yeah. About management. But before I go on, Pacho, we okay?
Oh, we are very much okay.
Let me say, Abraham Nikwe Poncho na. When you want to answer,
Who's that? Or head of boxing? You're not punching your tusa.
Those are boxing. The only boxing need yeah. I don't give and take.
Hey, punching, Baba.
I can't punching in Abu.
Na, first time out. Or we do any interview. And number say, me diplomatic kraman. Friendly fight.
And you should expect the other man who body shot me, head shot me. Now, also, I can't know one. The is the spirit of boxing.
The spirit of boxing.
It's a management issue. Oh, no, because he's managed by experts.
Yeah.
And on that chain. Number one, boxer no safety. And number one.
Paramount.
And I would mean for some man. And no answer on the back. So on the casa no dia. From that point on, responsibility near boxer and dia. Because overweight all the safety issues, especially in the case of Gameboy and Ryan Garcia. And he's no joke. Even at the 135, if he had been able to make it cry, it is no joke. It's when you take that risk, say, okay, still I'm a cool at that extra weight. At that point, Boxer has taken all the responsibility. Once he agreed, it's his responsibility. It's important, sir. Management can't say, oh, well, look at the windfall of that fight. You're making this much money. You lose the money. So look at the other side. So you make financially, you make this reward plus or just 30% of the pay-per-view.
Pay-per-view, yeah.
Which that part is a bigger deal than even the 200,000 on China. So once he looked at that, if the fighter were in a position financially, if he were secure, I said no, still. So responsibility and yet GB and then the managers in Nkwa. So the first I said, Gameboy, if you were in a better position financially, he could have said no. And nobody could have forced him. Like he said, they talked to him about, advantages of taking the fight and all that. I think, sir, if you were in a better position, for instance, if you had about $1 million in the bank and now even invested and one could fight, So I think he took the responsibility. We'll be able to make a BBR show, but nobody can force a fighter to fight. So once he accepted to fight, you can't blame anybody else. And you all know he took all the responsibilities regarding the potential windfalls in financial and otherwise. Especially given the fact that he was durable in the ring. It was no doubt but because he was durable to President Nikwe Eka said, a lot of fight. I anticipated, a lot of managers around the world will want their award to fight him because they see him say, "Onye dangerous." So that's how they see him. Based on the performance, we do in between big fights. And I usually in boxing, you don't want to fight one big fight after another big fight. If you call one big fighter, you need somebody like Gameboy. When you're that dangerous, or a boxer when you're a real fighter. Or a durable, but you don't see him as a Ryan Garcia Okuta bombs in both feet. And in between big fights, he will get a lot of fights. But he just has to be careful about the long-term effect. Because medically, the long-term effects, you don't want to expose yourself, your fighter or yourself, to the likes of Ryan Garcia beating now on Yain. No. But he will get a lot of offers. And I'm not surprised that he's getting a lot of offers.
What the boxing in church? I mean, me and Kai, I read 2 of your books or 3 of your books on boxing.
A big crown I'm going to.
Fantastic. Is boxing on a decline? Are we producing soft boxers now, considering the fact that Azuma Bia or dominated a particular weight division for 10 years, a decade? No joke. In fact, he is indeed inducted into the Hall of Fame. Ike Bazooka Kote, your own, Ike Bazooka Kote. But even when we win the world title, 6 months, 8 months, Jeffrey and him, what should we be doing right?
Okay, I'm going to separate Azuma era from Omo Amuji and Abu Omo era. Last 2 years, Richard Comey and Isaac
Dugbe.
Okay, clear distinction. Isaac Dugbe and Richard Comey. Oman defeated champions not to win the title.
Yes, vacant. Yeah, sure.
And those kind of fighters, even Joshua Clottey. And also, a vacant. Some fighters now more winning. Usually, if you check the record. In the case of Azuma Nelson, and yet champion no one in the Queen, but also, Gomez had just moved from super bantamweight, so he was the champion.
Yeah.
Also, he knocked out the champion. For how long he lasted? In the case of Ikote, he knocked out the champion, Espana, the terrible terror. For how long he lasted? Usually, Omo knock you out, and Omo rest the title from the champions. Omo chepa because it's very hard to take out the champion. Like we say in boxing, in football, in other sporting disciplines, champions die hard. And those two would be fun the
basis for sure.
Come in Dugbe. It will be yastic. Well, our opponents no mushy we're not that time tested champions. Until they are here, to me uncity durable champions. And also that change, Azuma Nelson, or no in particular, it was because of, I would say, Jerry Rollins, or about 70% the reason why Azuma lasted that long. Because of the association with Azuma Nelson himself, even while Jerry Rollins, the late president, was in the armed forces, and he took a liking to him, and won in so many ways. Yeah, Azuma Nelson would not even have had the opportunity to have fought the first time for the Wilfredo Gomez fight, but for Rollins. Almost dodgy. If you check the state involvement, deep state involvement, use UN ambassador, Ghana's ambassador to UN, Ghana's ambassador to US, going to all the WBC conventions here and there, protesting, or use a lot of state resource. And yet I'm going your title, because now, mind you, Salvador Sanchez,
Akun. Yeah.
I can say, even at the time of the stoppage, he was leading on two of the
scorecards.
On the cast of two of the judges. And honestly, he had taken Sanchez fight at 18 days' notice. I almost answered we are the Gam Shield counting now born and now it was brave. And in yes, he would have into no young person on the back. And to DK Poise, Mrs. DK Poise, Azuma, the in fact, Jerry John Rollins and Azuma Debioka. And on Columbia and Combat, eventually, though, he may have had the opportunity. But you never know, because Minister Barry McGregor can say, or Dodgin is our uncle. But he was ready. Azuma was ready. He had gone to the World Military Games and won gold, won African Games gold. He was ready. Actually, he said, Africa boycotted 1980 Moscow Olympic Games. Azuma would have won gold at the Olympics.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you, he was destined for greatness. And fortunately, when you had Jerry John Rollins and Obuano, the era, and then backed by great managers, ring-craft promoters. Oh, that ring-craft promotions, they were based in California. Now, we can fight will be a DK Poison J, the title against Ruben Olivares. So they have the love and they have the experience. They had the resources, they had the wherewithal. And fortunately for them, that Jerry John Rollins was on his open boxing power. It is state political will, and Azuma, they were very disciplined and was very skilled. And to honor different. All the time, you send a black bomber to the end. So, let me tell you, because I mean, DK Poison, Azuma, I caught a Mukoko Hunanado 3 years ago. No? That was the point I said of Pamchaman and Anka. I'm a catcher. Black bombers and also state in any Kohupa. because the current preparations are, I caught the Munya and now the best in Winneba. It will come for almost 6 months. The black bombers is saying, no, if you cry, they're like orphans. I still try to almost see about things. You're sure cry, they jam condemned to mosquito bite when they are supposed to be camping. Right now, Crampono, black bombers are also called residential camping. Almost now residential. And minister, no, minister now, also sports minister now, maybe black stars minister. Or three and take a part sports hall, a black stars. Abraham training was sports hall. If you the black bombers in your home year, they are there, a bet check Tambia, a bet check and see your world champion. That's the whole problem. The basis for Ghana continuing to dominate in world and international boxing was the black bombers in the preparation. State, I could do a champ on the time. DK Poison was a state project. And even now, at least promoters, mom certain your friends leeway here and there to make more promotions. Then you say boxing league. Great. Now, how much in terms of tax incentives at the moment to encourage them to continue to churn out champions after champions? Certainly, is not interested at all. When was the last time Ghana Amateur Boxing Association, they say a federation, Ghana Boxing Federation? When was the last time a mom will be from the budget? Oh, and not all control about say a sports media, boxing kakra. I don't think he was targeting yourself or can't buy sports media, no. Generally, no. Because I know that boxing power, if there's any media house in Ghana, or many every boxing power, now we organize a press conference, a friend saying, Samuel Techi.
Yeah, I was there.
We need only a friend saying, a sports host, who's all about. And that was big time. And I appreciate that big time. What I'm saying, and regularly you discuss boxing. And if any media house will be accused of not paying attention or paying lip service to boxing, I wouldn't be you. So I don't think that or dealing with you directly. But generally, the sports media have neglected boxing. And I be also because to a large extent, educational institutions in the Crown, I won't share boxing. And there are so many factors.
Okay.
But really, state has totally neglected boxing, and it's about time sports media start handling the so-called sports minister about the responsibility towards boxing and washaki. I don't think that number one, because promoters need here a lot of help in order to keep promoting.
Sure.
And managers should be our managing boxer. Oh, or the Nisikasa, or the Ashemusa, to one year, chance be say, even at 2 weeks notice on Gokono. Now, I'm Jimmy Sika back. It is a Nipani or Kabunu Kun or ring Mukra and Fano. But the boxers also, primarily, they should own that responsibility because I will like. Even the very good Ghana for any machine, I will like on your Buna who are. You should not take these fights at short notices. Many Game Boy, I wouldn't have taken the fight. But I think financially, I don't think he could have afforded to have missed $200,000 and 30% of the pay-per-view. That, I think, was the number one factor out of my opinion.
Sinamira say, also next week you didn't come pa.
Anytime.
Your boxing project be a yenti ujinem pa nti be din komo pa.
Like and subscribe and click on the notification. Happy FM, Nimdie, Happy FM, and Nijenkwa.